Welcome to Grown Men Chopping It Up. This your boy J.R. Rydha, and I'm with my ace,
Kerry. I say Kerry Witta K. This is a safe place for a grown-up after dark talk.
We'll give you a few minutes to put the kids to bed.
Because it's 21 and over.
Alright, let's get to it.
Okay, today's episode is brought to you by boogers, an all-natural gooey treat that kids have been enjoying for centuries. Hey Mom, what's for dinner? Go up your nose and pick a winner.
Ooh, where do you come up with that one from?
Hey,
that's like way back.
See, they're an old sponsor and they wanted to get in on the new stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey Mom, what's for dinner?
Go up your nose and pick a winner. Picking books.
Hey, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, it's been a good week this week, man. I'm feeling good. I've been eating right and drinking a bunch of fucking water.
Yeah. Did you use the cleanse I gave you?
No, I'm gonna use it tonight though, cause I'm off tomorrow and the next day.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna do it tonight.
Why you scared?
Yes, I am.
But you don't even know what it's gonna do.
That's what I'm scared of. I'm gonna use it tonight for real. I'm gonna drink the whole bottle.
Man, like, you said you was gonna do that.
I was going to, but I had things to do.
Hey, let's start the show off, man.
All right.
So look, somebody was asking me, we were talking, he said, what do you do when you start to feel complacent in your relationship?
Wow.
So, we'll ask you, what do you do? Like, if you just find yourself getting into a normal rut, what do you do to get out of that rut?
Well, I try to make sure I have so many unfinished things to do that I never get into a rut. Like, I have two books that I'm reading. I got my video games that I never play. Writing. I got so much shit I can do. My DVR is full of things. You go hug your girl. There's ways to be out of it.
Just stay busy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely stay busy.
Unless
you sleep.
So what I told him is this. I said the number one thing you can do when you feel complacent in your relationship, remember when you were single and how much you prayed for that relationship.
Right.
So all my single people right now, write down a note to yourself about how you feel about being single. I say do it for a week. Make 5 letters out. Let's do 7. Let's throw the weekend in there.
Uh-oh.
Write a letter to yourself for each day of that. And when you get in a relationship and you're not happy, go back and read all those times when you was like, I just wish I had somebody that could go to the movies with me, somebody to help me with the laundry. Right. I'm tired of jerking off. I'm sick of Pornhub. Like, just remember all those times. And also remember, when you get complacent in your relationship, remember how you felt when she caught you cheating.
Like he was going to lose her.
Or when he caught you cheating. How much you were so happy that they gave you a second shot.
Wow.
And now you're feeling like, complacent.
Yeah.
Nah.
Here you go.
Right. You might want to stall that out a little bit.
Right.
And go back to those days.
Because there's nothing worse than when you go to a restaurant and they say, for one. It's just you.
And you try to play it off like, nah, they coming.
I want 2 glasses of water.
Right.
Food.
Yeah, they coming. Just they late. And you playing on your phone.
I'll meet somebody here.
And then if you're starting to feel complacent, take that energy and make the other person feel valued. So if you're feeling like, man, this is the same old, then take that energy and put it into them.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna put over and above this week on her because I'm feeling some type of ways and see what comes out of it.
Yeah, because she's going to think you're cheating when you start spending that time with her. She's like, why is he rubbing my back? He never rubs my back.
Yeah, take yourself out of your comfort zone. The other thing is create intimacy. Like, if you're feeling like, man, this is boring or this is this, well, become what you want. Do some shit that you ain't never did before.
Yeah.
Like, and then the next thing I told him to do was stop creating fights.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of times when people are bored or complacent, nothing that the other person do is right anymore. Right. It's like, fuck you, you snore.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've been snoring.
I've been through that.
But, why you keep leaving your socks all over the place? I always left my socks all over the place.
And toilet seats up.
Yeah, toilet seats up. Why you don't put the toilet paper on the roll? Like, people start finding issues because they're starting to feel complacent and they start looking the other way. Get your dreams and your goals together. Yeah. You feel complacent in your relationship, start working on some of those things that you've always wanted to do and be happy that you got somebody to do those things with that got your back. Mm-hmm. Stop daydreaming. Most time complacency comes from daydreaming. Get out the window. That's what I call it. Stop looking out the window. Get out the window. It's like you on punishment, but you keep looking out the window and you tell them, hey, go ask my mama, can I come outside? Oh, no. And she go in the room and be like, God damn it, don't tell nobody else to come knock on this door.
Right. I remember those days.
But I'm saying, stop looking out the window. Stop, and then, concentrate on the house that you already have instead of looking out the window at the other houses.
Fix your house.
Yeah, fix your house. But and the last thing I said, this is even true for myself, is to get out of the past. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you're complacent in your relationship because you're basing it on things that you've had in the past. So you've had past great times, but you got to think about those are snapshots, right? It's just like school pictures. You looked really nice on your school pictures, but I went to school with you. You dressed fucked up. But that one school picture makes it look like you were a pretty together person. Wow. You're not a together person. Your style was all fucked up. You look good one day.
You dressed up that day because it was a second.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so stay out of the past. A lot of people are controlled by their past. And you know what? My best friend Keith used to tell me that too. He was like, you always, you like pictures, you like looking back at things. He was like, nah, don't do that. If you're going, just let it go. And so you can't be complacent. If you're looking in the past, you're not going to recreate that. That's just a moment in time. Mm-hmm. And you never can recreate that. Yeah. Like, I always tell people like this, the best sex I ever had in the world was this girl. And we only did it once. And she always used to call me to do it again, but I never wanted to. Because it was so good that one time, I knew if we did it again, it would have been all fucked up. Yeah. So I never did it again because I wanted to keep that moment in time. And he's like, that's what I'm saying. People get complacent in relationships because you think about it. You've had sex with that same person 340 times. Well, you forget how good that snapshot was. That snapshot was good. Yeah. So then you're looking out of the window and you're like, ooh, I'm finna go over here and get this person. But then you don't realize that that's just a snapshot in time. Yeah. And it's only good for that little snapshot. But what you have created with this other person is something that's, hopefully you got more going on. Right. And you can't trade it. So what happens when that snapshot becomes a movie? The movie sucks. You fell in love with the trailers. All the good parts are in the trailers. Right. But what happened to the meat and potatoes of the movie? So that's what I said. When you feel complacent, there's some things you can do to try to, shake yourself out of it. Right.
Have you ever had a girl that you were with that admitted that the best sex in her life wasn't with you?
You know what? No. I tell girls like this, and this is, maybe I'm bragging. All right. But I feel like any girl I be with, I'm going to be in the top 3. But she won't tell me I'm in the top 3 because I just told her that I'm going to be in her top 3. Right. But no, I never had nobody tell me that. Because, girls, I had to tell me that I wasn't shit after. Yeah. After we break up, is your dick was little and, the whole 9. Mm-hmm.
That's craziness.
But no, I never had nobody tell me that the best was somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think women do that.
No, they spare you. Yeah. But when I said it, it's like I said it on the podcast, and I got a couple calls, and people was like, "Oh yeah, I was the best she was talking about, huh?" Wow. And I was really thinking like, no, but I couldn't say that because I might have wanted to hit it again. Right. So I just was like, "Oh yeah, kind of maybe. I think so." I don't know.
Let's do it again so I can see.
Yeah, I don't remember who I said it was. I think it was you. It was a Wednesday. It was raining. I don't know.
They go in there and leave the door cracked.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, girls really take that personal. Some girl asked me, and we were dating, and it wasn't her. Oh wow. and she felt some type of ways. And it's so funny because women, they big you up when y'all together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, you're the best that, I've ever been with. And I was like, oh, that's hella sweet. I know that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Every nigga is the best when he with the girl.
Yeah.
And so, years later, me and her had a disagreement about something. She didn't treat me like I was the best. Yeah.
Then what happened?
Right. What happened to me being the best?
Yeah.
And it's what my whole theory, what I always tell you, girls, women, and men, they only love you as long as they like you.
Yeah, that's true.
So as long as she liked me, I was the best.
Yeah.
But when she got with the next dude, then you get the Facebook messages. Oh, I never knew a soul can intertwine with another soul like it is now that I'm with you. May the stars and the moons of the earth collide when we kiss.
Our inner spirits are like pretzels.
And I'm like, when we was together, they was like spaghetti, but this nigga like pretzels. I don't know which one's better.
Right. That's like when dudes they talk about a girl they used to have sex with. Like, let's say the girl that you might be with, somebody she used to have sex with, he'd be like, well, I used to hit that, whatever. And what I always think of is, so what? I mean, there's few niggas that used to hit that.
Right, yeah.
What counts is I'm doing this now.
Right. What else did y'all do?
Right.
Like, yeah, what else? It's just like when the girls always talk about the next person that they with, or the dudes talk about the next person with they with, before that person has made the sacrifice that you made with the person. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we put 15 years in.
Yeah.
Y'all been together 3 months. Tell them put 15 years in, then me and the nigga can talk.
Right. I'm so happy. I never thought someone could treat me like this.
Right. Let them treat you like that for 15 years.
Let them pay some of them bills you got coming up.
Yeah, let them see what happened when you fart in your sleep. You smell like dead people.
Make his bones thin.
But yeah, we had people in the microwave relationships.
Yeah, they believe in an MTV society.
There you go.
Well, what I wanted to talk about was the history of marriage.
Good segue.
You know what I'm talking about? The history of marriage, meaning that the marriage means a lot different now than it used to.
Uh-huh.
Like before, marriage has ancient roots, but until recently, love had nothing to do with it.
Right.
So one of the things they came up with is marriage was a way of having an arranged alliance. Like it was an ancient institution that predates recorded history, but early marriage was seen as a strategic alliance between families. Like if this family is well known and this other family is well known, they come together and say, let's have our son and daughter marry and we'll be a big family together. Like, creating a dynasty or something.
Right. That's how, all the kings and queens, they were all related.
Right. And the other thing was polygamy was very preferred back then.
Uh-huh.
And this was like way back when. So monogamy seems like it's central to marriage right now, but in fact, polygamy was common throughout history. From Jacob to King David, Solomon, biblical men often had anywhere from 2 to thousands of wives.
Doesn't matter. That's Old Testament.
Right. And babies were optional.
Yeah.
You didn't have to have a child to get married. In fact, the Christian church held the position that if you can procreate, you must not refuse to procreate, but you didn't have to.
Right.
To be married.
Right.
And before I get too many in there, because there's so many down there, there was actually they call it a different spear. Like marriage wasn't about equality until about 50 years ago. At that time, women and men had unique rights and responsibilities within marriage, but in fact, marital rape wasn't actually a thing until 1970s.
Right.
Like your wife couldn't not have sex with you.
Right. She can't tell you no.
Right. You just take it when you want to.
Right. It's yours.
So after the 1970s, it became more equal. Both of y'all put this thing together into the marriage and get it together. But the thing about marriage now is it's looked at as far as one person comes up and one person doesn't. Always. It's very unequal right now. And it's not really something that men pursue. It's like, well, a man will get married when he's had all his fun. He wants to settle down. I fucked 1,000 bitches. Now I want to sit down and get married. Women get married. She's lost her job. She ain't got no car. Her mom is kicking her out. She wants to get married. I'm kidding. Women want to get married because they fall in love.
The way they try to save it.
Right. So the last thing is, marriage used to be about a partnership of equals. About 50 years ago, the notion that men and women had identical obligations within marriage began to take root. Instead of being about unique, gender-based roles, most partners conceived of their unions in terms of flexible divisions of labor, companionship, and mutual sexual attraction. And that's my report today.
Can you paraphrase that? I still don't know what the hell you just said.
It's about being equally yoked.
So that's what it is now. But you're saying before, it didn't used to be like that. People got married more for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, there was arranged marriages.
Yeah.
There is, but you know, in the
The
United
father
States,
would give a dowry.
What?
The father would give the man what they call a dowry. The girl would save all her her allowance, basically, and all her jewels and stuff like that. Once a husband decided he wanted to marry, the father would give the guy all her money and jewels.
Right. I mean, because you're trying to attract the best of the best dudes, and that's the thing. Men really lost their power in a sense.
Yeah.
Like men forget that you're the one that's coveted, so to speak.
Right.
And so, you know, once you start giving that up, and that's when the diamond companies convinced you that you have to go spend, you know, a month that's worth of salary on a ring. But they've done all that kind of stuff to get you as a consumer.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like I always said, look, people talk about marriage and stuff. Marriage is for two different reasons. You're either getting married to live right in God's eyes.
Yeah.
Then that was, you don't have any personal desires and stuff. You're doing this for God. You want to live right for God. Then the other part is you doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it because you want to do it, you can't. I just think sometimes people mix the two. If you're not doing it because you guys both believe in God, don't get married in church.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting married in the church and y'all not gonna follow the reason why y'all supposed to be there?
Yeah, you in God's house. Lying.
Right. Yeah. Get married at the church, at the city hall,
At the skating ring.
at the skating ring. Well, at least that way, because you guys are doing it because you want to do it, and when you don't want to do it no more, you just stop.
Yeah.
It's like a business arrangement. But I wouldn't go into marriage with a business arrangement because it's a bad business.
And that's what they say. There was a new thing that they're trying to come up with is short-term marriages, like 5 years. And it's just an agreement that y'all be married for 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should. Like I said, I only believe in love contracts. I don't think I'll ever get married again. because it's not a fair deal. Like you said, you're gonna take a loss one way or another. And it's non-negotiable, so to speak.
It punishes the successful one.
Yeah.
Punish you for having drive.
Yeah. Be a loser, you're fine. Hey, let me jump into my next topic.
All right.
I was talking to my boy again.
You're talking to that guy.
And we were talking about something that I thought was kind of interesting. You know how, like, if you be with your girl for a while, or if you're friends with a girl, or a guy or whatever, and they perceive you a certain way. So let's say that maybe you like to joke and laugh and stuff, and your girl sees you that way, where she doesn't see you as like a manly man.
Oh, wow.
Or certain things, because you know that's not the image that you portrayed to her. Right. Where she see a dude on TV with big muscles and be like, woo, but you might have big muscles. But she doesn't see you in that way. And he was like, how do you change how your girl perceives you or how she looks at you?
Wow.
And I just told him like this. Like I said, the number one thing you could do if you want to change how your girl looks at you, because you know you go through different phases in your life.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you didn't grow up a tough guy. Maybe you didn't grow up in the projects. Maybe you didn't grow up an Ivy League guy. Like, you know, maybe that's not where you grew up, but maybe you have become that.
Yeah.
Or other people see you as that. Like, I dated a girl who didn't want my advice, so to speak. And she tripped out when other people called me and asked for my advice. But because of how she saw me, she couldn't take my advice.
Oh, wow.
Because she saw me one way. Mm-hmm. We didn't date long. But she would always get, like, jealous that people would come to me. Right. But I said, so I told him, the number one thing about being a man, like, there's no rule book, right?
No.
But I say one of the things about being a man is you be your own man. Like, whatever way you think a man is, then be that. But you gotta be it. Not talk about it. Like, you hear people say, oh, I'm the man this, and when you're the man of your house or you're the man of your life, you don't never have to say that.
Yeah, you don't.
You never have to tell nobody who you are. It's not done by words, it's done by actions. Right. So if you're gonna be the man, then just be it. Yeah. You don't talk about it, you don't hit your chest, you don't walk around. That's young people shit. Yeah. Like when you see the basketball players make one rebound and then they're beating their chest. Like, dude, that's one.
Or the guy makes an interception and he's celebrating, but they losing.
Right, by 30. But that's exactly how you look when you walk in your house talking about, I'm the man. You look exactly the same as those fools. So that's one thing I said, just be who you're going to be, however you do it. The other thing I said is be good at something. Like, if you're a hobby, if it's play the piano, if it's play basketball, if it's bowling, if whatever it is, take your girl with you. Women like to see their man being a man among men. I always used to take my girl to the park with me when I used to go play basketball. Wow. And some dudes don't like to do stuff like that, but that's not your girl if you got to worry about her. Yeah. I don't care who else out there. I'm thinking she finna be concentrating on me, and if she not good, because then she needs to be gone out my way, and I need to find out.
All right, dude's making an eye at her, and she.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm gonna find out sooner than later. Yeah. But I always used to take my girl with me to the park. And she can watch me play basketball, because girls like to see you be a man. But now don't go out there and get, punched in the eye, or if you really suck, but that's all right. That's you being a man. You doing what you do and the best of your ability. And I say, next thing I said treat her with respect, because if you treat her really well, then she has no reason not to treat you with respect. If you respect what she says, then she has no reason. And if it doesn't happen, then that's not the person you need to be with. So anybody has a problem with anything I'm telling you to do, then that's signs that you don't need to be with this person. Because I remember I went camping with a partner of mine, and I respect the hell out of this dude. The way that his girl was talking to him made me pause. And it showed that she didn't have respect for him. You know what I mean? And it's like when other people start to peep it, I was like, damn, because he's a smart brother. Like, real smart. Like, I would go to him for advice all the time. And for her to shoot his advice and shit down, I was just looking at it like, wow. Like, it'd be hard for him to change that perception that she has, because that's locked in. So sometimes you can't change it. She's gonna think of you that way. That's fine. Sometimes when you move away from the situations and the people look back and they see you and they like, man, I never knew this person, go on cruises and I had that in me, but I didn't have it when I was with you. You didn't let me shine because you always wanted to lead.
Yeah, you didn't call that out.
Yeah, you didn't bring it out. And I said, and you showed leadership, like I said, the best way you can, and then you let her be the woman. Or vice versa. You let him be the man. And by you letting them do that, that lets them, feel more free. They feel more free, and they start to look at you in a different, because they can change who they are. You're letting them change who they are. So it's just like if you're in a relationship and your girl always wants to be the dude, where she's playing and everything, and she's aggressive, then you get with somebody else. And they look at you and be like, hey, babe, can you play this?
Right.
And you start playing this stuff. Well, then you feel more comfortable if she comes to you and says, hey, I want to did it. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, go ahead. Yeah. You support her because she let you change who she was, who you were, and then you can see her change.
Right.
But if you always try to keep her in a box, it's because you want to be in the box. So if your girl don't want to dress up and be sexy for you, because she doesn't want you to dress up and be sexy. You know what I mean? She want to stay in the box, so she wants you to stay in the box. Yeah. So when you start going to the gym and you bust out the room with the tighty whities on, doing the dance like John Travolta, now she got to do something. Yeah. So she rather you just stay basic so she can stay basic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She wants you to stay at your job that's basic, So she ain't got to get a better job. But if you with somebody who's progressive and really likes you and loves you and want to see you grow, every time you bust a move, they gonna bust a move. Like, you guys are gonna be both building each other up. Yeah. So if you want to change your perception, I think you got to start by first changing yourself and show her the utmost respect, or show him the utmost respect as you change yourself, and see if they'll change themselves.
Right. Yeah. Be the change you want to see.
Right.
That makes sense.
You know, yeah, that's it.
That makes sense. Well, I'm gonna have the listeners pardon me. I'm be a little technical right now, but if you listen closely, you might get something.
You might learn something.
Now I'm gonna talk about the benefits of swallowing semen.
Yeah. Teach these women.
You know, it has healing. It has healing in it. So semen was what they call an elixir, right? Semen consists of a variety of proteins. So get your protein shake. It has antimicrobial activity against bacteria, viruses, and fungi. See how good that is?
Right.
It also contains mood-enhancing compounds such as cortisol, estrone, oxytocin, we talked about that before, thyroidropin, releasing hormone, prolactin, melatonin, and serotonin.
Yeah, all that sounds like it's something that she needs.
Right. It has been found in studies to cure preeclampsia.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Women who engage in oral sex and swallowed the semen, the researchers found that swallowing semen was associated with a lower risk of preeclampsia. The semen adapts the mother's immune system so that it accepts foreign proteins present in sperm, as well as in the placenta and fetus. This maintains the blood pressure at a low level and thereby reduces the preeclampsia risk.
Wait. So if she swallows, then we can stop high blood pressure.
That's right. It healed the world, man. The other thing is, research has shown that some women are infertile or miscarry due to the presence of antibodies that destroy the proteins or antigens present in their partner's semen. Having oral sex and swallowing the semen of the partner may help make the pregnancy safer and more successful as the woman is swallowing her partner's antigens.
So no need for you women to go to these fertility clinics. You need to just call.
Call your baby daddy.
Call your baby daddy.
And let him bust one.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? It helps with acne.
Yeah.
You know?
You can spread it on your face.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what? This the kind of report you should have been doing.
You know what I'm saying?
This stuff right here is going to help somebody.
Because there are girls that say, oh, I don't want to swallow it. Blah, blah, blah. Now there's a medical reason that you should.
Yeah, I mean, girls said, you know, like you could, it's what you eat, your diet, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I guess if you help them out by eating pineapples, it tastes better.
Right. And they say when you eat pineapples, it produces more, and you know you can shoot more.
You know what? Is that true?
I think it is. I eat pineapples all the time.
You shoot more?
But you know I got a vasectomy, so there's really only so much coming out.
but it's no different, right?
Well, I mean,
no volume different. Only thing's missing is the little swimming people.
The sperm is missing, so you produce more sperm with pineapple juice. Pineapples.
Oh.
So, but my sperm ain't going nowhere.
Oh.
They're always getting just the semen.
Yeah. But then do you get more semen from pineapples?
No.
How you know?
Because there's only, I think there's a finite amount of semen that comes out anyway.
Oh, it's just a set amount.
Yeah, because all the semen does is, I mean, you already know, but maybe some of the listeners don't know. The semen just really clears the way to make it easier for the sperm to get to the egg. That's all it does.
So I thought that I don't think it's a set number. Because like if you haven't sex in a long time, then you have sex, a whole bunch comes out.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But then if you're super horny, more shoots out. If you're kind of horny, you just
yeah. And normally, pre-cum, which is semen, contains 80% sperm when you're shooting sperm. In actuality.
Yeah, that's why the pull-out method does not work.
It doesn't. Because once you feel it in your head, it's time.
It's over. It's already too late.
But to those people who don't know what preeclampsia is, it's also called toxemia. And the symptoms are high blood pressure, swelling of the hands and feet, and there's protein in the urine. It's a potentially dangerous.
What's a dangerous? What the hell does dangerous mean? Is that a mix between danger
and dangle? My dick is dangleless.
Hey, I'm the dangleless on y'all neck.
Hey, bitch, I'm dangleless.
What's your name? I'm dangleless. I'm the dangleless thug.
That's actually pretty funny. Bitch, I'm dangleless.
I'm dangleless.
It's a potentially dangerous pregnancy complication characterized by high blood.
So if you wanna lower your blood pressure, fuck with some dangleless.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? You want to lower that blood pressure? Come fuck with dangleless.
Yeah, we dangleless. I'm finna text somebody. I'm dangleless.
Bitch, you know me. I'm dangleless.
What you doing tonight? I'm dangleless.
Have you met my friend Dangleless?
This dangleless Dim Scott. You got the question?
Yeah, I got the question. This question is from, she wanted me to call her Marley Marl. Don't ask me why. She didn't want me to give her a name, but she said, oh, you can say the question on the air.
She dangleless?
Yeah, I think she might be dangleless.
All right.
So she says, personally, I think men are not motivated to get married anymore. I think a lot of women have become more manly out of a necessity to make it work in the work environment, and unfortunately have also brought that type of attitude home to their men. A man does not want to be in competition with his woman, and sure as hell does not want to have his manhood questioned when it comes to leading his family and or household. Those are my thoughts. Now, how do we fix it?
All right, I'm gonna tell you that's stupid because you can't speak for every man and woman. And people who paraphrase stuff like that and do that, I think is crazy because you can't just wrap everybody up in there. Because there's some men who like to be
Impact.
Yeah, there's some men who like to have their balls cut off. Yeah. I mean, who like to be submissive to a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's hard to say that. It's all about people. I think the problem with a lot of relationships and people nowadays. They take these general terms and they use them for everybody. So the reason why you hear people in the Bay Area say, "Oh, ain't no good dudes in the Bay Area," and then compared to who? I know hella people who got married in the Bay Area. All my friends is married.
Yeah.
So you can't say that it ain't no good people or there's nobody who want to get married. All my friends are married.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, everybody I know is married.
Yeah, who's the pool that they're choosing from?
Right.
When they can only potentially date not even 1% of men.
There you go. But I think that now, if you start to, let's be specific. Where are you meeting these people that don't want to get married at? Yeah. Are they successful people? Do they have successful parents? You know what I'm saying? What environment did you meet them in? Are they all African American? Are they mixed? Do they got white moms? Do they got white dads? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Let's start breaking down.
Like, what's your station?
And then this is the other part. That's what the whole thing about manhood, all this other stuff. Women cannot tell no man what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, whoever a man is what he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or what he wants to do. So when these women want to be like, oh, they have to be manly because of we know that the system is messed up. Most people don't understand that. That, you know, in the 70s, when with affirmative action and all that came into play, and women's rights came into play, it killed two birds with one stone to hire a black woman. You got a woman and you got a minority. So they were, and you got to think about it. All these businesses and stuff were ran by white people. And I'm not being racist or anything. I'm being real because what they did, they said, hey, slavery is over. Give everybody a job. White people said no. They wanted to keep all the jobs. They didn't want there was no black firemen. There's one or two. There was no black police officers. There was no black nothing. Right. They didn't want to. So the government stepped in and made it a law that you had to hire minorities and women. So yes, they did do that. So black women, it was easier for you guys because you killed two birds with one stone. You got to still believe that these companies, no matter what you think, they're still racist. Yeah. They're still, you know, if they over 60 years old, they grew up in a time where racism was, normal. Yeah. So with that being said, yes, there is more black women or women in period who get more corporate jobs. Yeah. Right?
A lot of them work for the state, too.
Yeah, there's more corporate jobs that hire that because you cover two things at once. So when you get to these, so you do take on those kind of roles because the traditional, warehouse jobs and labor jobs, all that stuff has been squashed and gone now. So that doesn't exist. So you do get brothers who is working, but if they're working in the corporate world, they got their head on a swivel. Yeah. And they looking at everything. They looking at the whites, the Chinese, the blacks, it's a smorgasbord. Yeah. And so the women, we can start with the woman. And we can start with relationships. We can start with being friends. We can start building relationships. We can start with this all or nothing attitude that most people have. Let's start there. Yeah. Every relationship don't have to end in you guys dating. Right. Just because you meet somebody, if you meet people, we have more dialogue, and then you can kind of see more what men are thinking. Yeah. I think that, but I get mad about that kind of question when people say men ain't thinking about marriage. Yeah. I mean, that's not true. Yeah. Everybody I know is married.
I mean, it might be just they're not trying to marry you.
Right. It could be the age. It could be the age bracket and the people that you're dating. Yeah. I mean, how could you even date people who ain't even on that wavelength if that's your wavelength? Yeah. So,
find out in the first conversation.
Right. You see people all the time, these girls, and most of these women that say something, I don't know, I didn't read the rest of the stuff. But if you look at it, they probably got 1 or 2 kids and not married. Mm-hmm. And then they got a problem with all black men. Mm-hmm. It's like, what I'm saying, stop skipping steps. Yeah. Get to know the person first.
That's true.
But I think the only way they can fix it is communication. And what does marriage mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why is the emphasis on marriage more than friendship? Yeah. More than, companionship? More than knowing somebody? These people, so what? You get married. If you married everybody you dated, how many marriages would you have? Too many. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, men don't want to be married. But he would have left you because y'all would have been divorced because y'all broke up. So even if he would have married you, y'all still wouldn't be together. That's the problem. People think marriage is some magical force field. I'm going off, huh? People think marriage is some magical force field that make everything work. If your relationship didn't work, then your marriage wouldn't have worked.
If we was in church, I'd be playing the organ.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the problem with people, especially when you get into these posts and these people who post this kind of stuff. They like to sit back and it's just like the woe is me. Oh no, I'm a good woman. No man wants to marry me. Oh, and I hate when dudes do that sucker shit too. Yeah. Man, if I had a girl, I would treat her like a queen. No, you wouldn't, nigga, because why you ain't got no girl? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't treating somebody like a queen? Yeah. Why you ain't got, where's the cosign for that? Yeah. Where's your friends? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your resume? Where's your partners that's females that can say, yeah, we're just friends, and he treats me this way. Yeah. He treats me great. You ain't got none of that, because if you wasn't fucking the person, then they didn't get treated like a queen. Right. And that's why, if you ain't fucking him, he ain't get treated like a king. That's why you got no co-signers. Yeah. That's why you know what I'm saying, you got nothing except you just sitting there complaining about it. Mm-hmm. But if you foster all your friendships, then you don't just need one in order to make you feel whole. You don't need one marriage. Just like I said, I bought into the thing like, oh, you got to get married so you'll have somebody there when you get old. Fuck that. If Kerry ain't there when I'm getting old in hospital, I'll be mad as hell. Justice better be right there with it. Jesse better be there. Lisa better, Arab, all my family and friends, all y'all motherfuckers better be there. Right. I foster all my relationships. Yeah. I call my friends and I tell them, hey, I tell them I love them, everything. Because it's more than just, focusing on one thing. Yeah, we all want a partner and we want the image of things, but I think the thing that's missing is the friendship first, lovers second. True. So, that's very true. That's pretty much it.
Well, see, I picked up something for you while I was out shopping.
Is it a gun?
I want to present it to you right now. There you go.
Hey! Oh, this is nice. Why you get the same color you got?
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. So I wanted to give you one of these high-power watches that everybody loves.
Thank you, man. This is nice.
Yeah, and there's not very many people walking with those around. There's actually maybe 2, me and you. But I got my father-in-law one too. He just has a different color, but we in it now.
Damn, this is tight. It got like 3 things.
Yes, that's hour, minute, and second.
I don't even know what time it is. My nose has been running this whole podcast.
So there's a watch. Think of it as an early Christmas gift. Keep it as family heirloom or something. No. Damn, now you put me on the spot.
This is dope, man. I'm gonna wear it right now.
See? Everybody that you see all day is gonna compliment like, oh man, it's a tight watch. Good watch.
That's what they're gonna say it in that voice?
Yeah, they're gonna say, hey man, it's a nice watch. Hey, Tivato.
Hey, Vato, you have a nice watch, Holmes.
Como so que, hey, nice watch.
I don't think I'm gonna need that, man. Run that watch. All right, hey, let's wrap this podcast up, man.
All right.
Until next week.
Until next week, make sure you email us and still pay attention to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Peace. All right.
So that concludes our show tonight. We know there's a lot of podcasts you could be listening to.
And should be listening to.
So we thank you for riding with us. I'm J.R. Rydha.
And I'm Kerry Witta K. Make sure you look us up on Facebook or Instagram or get at us on grownmenchoppingitup@gmail.com. That's spelled out GROWNMENCHOPPINGITUP. And remember, everybody kneeling ain't praying.
Peace.